from my perspective, I guess, I mean, I will say that, right, like we have seen that reproductive rights, abortion rights have been incredibly mobilizing in some elections, particularly when people perceive that it's under threat. And I think that that's a really big caveat or you know, a big qualifier is that, you know, I think people are less inclined to vote around this issue if they are not posed with that as a single question, or if particularly in places like Ohio, or if they don't perceive it to be under threat. And you know, in 2024, right, we've already passed this reproductive freedom amendment. There was a lot of publicity about that. Everybody seemed to understand at the time, partly because of a $50 million campaign, right, to get it passed, that there was a 6-week abortion ban that was kind of waiting in the wings to go into effect. That particular threat seems to have been pretty much alleviated, more or less. I mean, things continue to play out, but that law is not in effect. However, there are lots of other laws that affect abortion access and abortion rights in Ohio that really threaten to take away a lot of the gains that we made with this amendment. And they have been. They're laws that the legislature has been passing for years, that we have been fighting in the courts. And those cases eventually are going to make their way up to the Ohio Supreme Court, which is going to decide whether the new amendment invalidates them. And they're not, you know, 6-week abortion bans. They are things that will make it harder for abortion providers to, you know, to work in the state of Ohio, or for clinics to stay open in the state of Ohio. They're things that make abortion more expensive, create delay, increase health risks for people seeking to access abortion. And the question becomes, you know, are voters going to see that as being, you know, abortion under threat? Are they going to realize what the stakes are for this election? Are they going to realize that just passing this amendment actually didn't solve everything, and that the courts still have a role to play in interpreting that amendment and deciding, you know, what kind of abortion access we're going to have going forward? And I think that's a huge question that is like keeping me up at night right now, pretty much from now till November.